Hello, welcome to episode 170 of the Epic Film Challenge 2, 1001 Movies You Must See Before You Die, 1988's The Vanishing.
We're never going to finish this.
What?
170?
Yeah.
Feels like 500.
Yeah, it's been a while. But anyway, The Vanishing we watched weeks ago. We should have done this review weeks ago. And there's
feels like months.
And there are some films where we've seen them ages ago and it's like struggling to remember what happened in them. But this film to me is still as clear in my head as a few days after I saw it. But the plot to The Vanishing has an interesting twist. What? The fact that you're yawning. It's a fact of life. You'll yawn during these videos. There's nothing we can do to avoid it. So.
You're so boring.
Wow. Just tell me what you really think. The Vanishing. The plot has a twist to it that I don't want to spoil if you haven't seen the film. The basic setup is, I think it's a French film or a Dutch film. We have a Dutch couple. Both, I suppose, yeah. We have a Dutch couple holidaying in France. They're driving around. They stop at a rest area, and the girl never comes back from the shop. And then the rest of the film is about the boyfriend, Rex, trying to find out what happened to his girlfriend Saskia, and to find out if she was killed. And it's kind of like a thing where he's like, I just want to know what happened, even if she is dead. I want to know how. I want to know why. That's the film. It's his journey to find out the truth. Don't want to go into anything else if you haven't seen the film. Is it a film you should see before you die?
Definitely.
Absolutely. Just go see it. Like, find it, rent it, buy it. It's a fantastic film. So
I was so surprised because this is not going to spoil anything at all. But when he put it on, I just saw like, hang on, this is a foreign film. Yeah. Well, everything is foreign for me, but it's not English, or American. But like, because he didn't tell me. He told me what it was, and so I was like, okay, let's give it a go. And then I was completely into it. Yeah. There's only one thing I didn't like about the whole thing, and it's so minor that you guys probably wouldn't notice, but
I think it's substantial. We'll get to that. So, bottom line,
just great.
Bottom line, we love the film. Definitely a film you should see before you die. So now we're going to talk about all the plot. So some spoiler spoiler talk. I didn't know how this film was told. I know it was about this guy trying to find out what happened to his girlfriend who'd been kidnapped, abducted, murdered, who knows what. But I didn't know that this film also gives you the perspective of her kidnapper, Raymond. So early on in the film, we cut to this guy, and it's kind of a flashback to him beginning to get into the idea of abducting a woman. Mm. And we have his storyline as well as the boyfriend who, a few years after the incident, is still looking for his girlfriend. He's obsessed with it. He's got a new girlfriend, but I mean, he's just so absorbed in finding out what happened to Saskia. And again, we cut back to Raymond, and we see, all this stuff of him kind of planning, preparing, and going through all these little details and like trial runs. Timing it,
Completely timing it, like he used that stuff that knocks you out.
Chloroform, yeah.
Yeah. He timed that, like he breathed it in, and then he times it, and then when he wakes up, he stops it, and that's how he times like how long he will have from he puts her in the car and gets to the place. And that was just like, wow.
Fascinating, gripping, horrifying. He has his family over. Yes, he has kids. I think, well, at least one kid and a wife and
two girls and a wife.
And they have like a summer house in the middle of nowhere. And he starts testing with his family if people can hear screaming. Mm. He's like trying to get his family to scream.
He placed a spider in a drawer so the girl saw it, and then she screamed, and he was like, that was a good scream or something. Yeah. And so the other girl was like, I can scream louder. Okay, go on then. And so they just scream, and you understand.
Lots of screaming.
Actually testing it, because he asks the guy later on, did you hear anything? Mm-hmm. And then like, okay then.
And
he was planning it.
And we do see Raymond at the beginning of the film, during the opening when the couple, Rex and Saskia, they're driving, and they kind of I guess if you're going into the film, it's called The Vanishing. You know what's going to happen. They kind of fake you out a bit because they stop inside this tunnel. They're out of gas or whatever, and it seems like this is where it's going to happen, but it doesn't. And then they get to a rest area, and that's more scary, I think, is the idea of losing your partner in this public area. It's a nice sunny day. There's families around, losing someone there is, I think, more scary than in a dark tunnel, because it's a comfortable area that you wouldn't expect it to happen. And when
you're not like aware of your surroundings the same way, you don't have to be.
Yeah.
Like
careful or
yeah.
And so when that happened and she didn't come back and he was waiting for her and they got into a bit of an argument, but they kind of patched it up and they were all lovey-dovey again, and then she never comes back from the shop and he goes back, and it just built up inside me like it would happen if it happened in real life, and it chilled me to the bone, the idea of that. You're in a foreign country, she's gone, no one's seen anything, there's nothing they can do, like, oh my god, it was just horrible.
And there's nothing you can do.
And there's nothing you can do. And no way you can turn to. It's just a horrible situation. So we get the killer's background, and it all builds up to... Isn't there like a thing where the killer keeps testing the boyfriend by sending him stuff? And like saying, be in this time and place. And he just watches him, but he doesn't go up to him, you know. So there's this weird cat and mouse game going where the killer... And you know, spoilers, he does kill her. They don't reveal that till the end of the film. The thing you didn't like has got to be the...
Yes, it's he's practicing how to get her into the car. Like what he's going to say.
To lure her in, to get into the car.
And the music is like funny music.
Yep, comedic.
Yes, and the way he's moving too, so it seems like a comedy all of a sudden.
Yeah.
But if it had a different type of music, it would be so much more creepy and horrifying, like you said, because he practices a move on his daughter later on.
Oh yeah, that was...
He wants to make sure that he locks the door. No. Something with the door. And so he's going to go behind her and then grab her and then do the chloroform, not on her eyes, but, you know, on the mouth. And then when, to practice that properly with a person, he picks his daughter up from school, and then to lock the door, he goes behind and then he does this, and then goes, and she's like, why'd you do that?
Yeah.
You know? And that's when you're like, oh my god, he practices doing that on his own daughter. It's just, yeah.
And the actor who played Raymond, I think, was fantastic at playing this kind of sociopath. But apparently, because we watched it on Filmstruck, which is the Criterion kind of streaming service, and it had some of the special features on this. We watched the interviews and stuff, and apparently he was quite an interesting one on set, because when he has the scene with Saskia where he kind of is smothering her face, like he proper did it and freaked her out, you know. So he was like trying to get that extra mile out of people. And when him and the boyfriend meet and they get in that fight, he was proper bugging the actor beforehand to get him to really hit him and stuff, you know. Like he was going maybe a bit too far to really get that kind of...
No, not noticed that. What, did you watch that without me?
No, we watched it together, but I think I read some other stuff afterwards as well.
Yeah, because that wasn't in there.
No,
but
he
said he actually smothered her. And
no, I guess it wasn't. In the interview, the actress says that he wasn't the easiest to get along with, and that he was a bit of a different, and that she had problems with him.
Yeah,
and the director had to sort it out.
She didn't have an actress background, and he did, and so he didn't expect her to act well. And then she told the director.
Yeah.
And then after that, he saw her act in one of the scenes, and then he was like, "You're good." Yeah.
So there's a bit of a respect issue there, I suppose. But what I loved about the film was when we get to that meeting between Raymond and Rex, the kidnapper, the murderer, and the boyfriend. Because he just turns up outside his house and he's like, okay, I'm the guy you're looking for. I'm going to give you... And he almost treats it like this is a big gift. He's like, this is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. Yes. And that's when you're just like, you motherfucker. So the boyfriend, he just punches this guy up against the car, beats the shit out of him.
He beats him while he's lying down. And
then he comes back and says, all right, I'll take it, you know. And he's like, look, I'm gonna tell you everything, but you need to hear my story, and I'm gonna drive you to, you know, and you're gonna learn everything you need to know. And so you have this incredible ending. It's like 20 minutes maybe of them driving, you know, to I guess the other country, wherever it was. Well, I'm not sure exactly. Yeah, because I guess he would have gone to Holland. I don't know, but they go on a long drive together, and the murderer is telling him everything. He's telling him how when he was a teenager, he jumped off a balcony because he thought, you're not supposed to do this. So what happens if I do the thing you're not supposed to do? And when he was an adult and he had a family, he jumped into a river and saved this girl, and his family said, you're a hero. And he thinks to himself, well, am I really a hero? how can I be this shining example of a good person if I haven't proven to myself that I can do something that's evil? So again, complete sociopath, and it's just this kind of test within himself, and
it's so fascinating too.
Very fascinating, but scary at the same time, you know. And
it's so weird how, because I'm so much more fascinated by movies with these kind of characters, and when you get to know them, I'm like completely just into what they're saying. Like, it's so interesting.
Just that dark side of human nature and the...
It's fascinating. And I don't like that I'm fascinated by it and how I love to watch movies like this.
Yeah, I know, I get you.
But it's probably because I'm so different, and so I find it fascinating how someone can be so
It's unfathomable, you know.
Whatever that means, I'm sure.
It means it's just something you can't understand because, you know... I don't know if sociopaths would watch this film and go, oh yeah, I can see where he's coming from. I don't know.
Well, I do understand. Like, is he a true hero if he can't make himself do something bad? I understand that, but like
it's a warped sense of perspective. I don't know, but
a person in the right mind wouldn't do it because they know it's wrong. You know.
You can believe it as someone who is mental, you know.
Yes.
Someone who's got that kind of that thing missing where they don't have the same emotions as other people.
They don't think about it being wrong and how it will affect their life afterwards.
Which again
if they have a conscience. Which
doesn't excuse it. It just means that you can understand why they do it, even if it is this horrific thing. And
especially after this movie, you do.
Yeah,
and you get it explained to you in a way.
And then that ending, you know, I mean,
the ending was great.
Oh my God, it's just the movie stays with you, you know. Like I said, off the top of my head, Usual Suspects. We watched that, reviewed it about a month later, and I was struggling to remember hardly anything.
I remember almost every bit of it.
Exactly, because it's so memorable and just an excellent film. Great performance. The girlfriend did a great job, you know, even though she's not in the film very much. And particularly the guy who plays Raymond.
Yeah, he was the star of the show.
Yeah, and just something about him that just, you know, you believed in that character. You didn't think it was an actor. I don't know, just
his look and everything. Yeah, he seemed very natural when he was doing everything.
And I thought the boyfriend, Rex, did a great job too, because he has to go show a lot of emotions and stuff, and sitting in that car with the guy who probably murdered your girlfriend without killing the, you know, there's a restraint in that he showed very well on screen.
Raymond says that I'll show you what I did to her.
Yeah.
It's like, you just tell me. No, you have to experience it for yourself. Yeah. So I could die then.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think he answers really.
Well,
but he does, like, he drugs a cup of coffee or something like that, and he says it's drugged.
Yep.
You're gonna pass out, and then when you wake up, you'll know what happened.
Or you can just leave and you'll never know.
Yeah.
You know.
So just leave, and he
freaks out. Yeah.
And then he walks back and he just downs the coffee.
Yeah.
He's like, now what happens, or something like that. He just sits down in the car and he knows, and then when he wakes up,
that's it.
Then he knows, and you'll know too. And now you have to watch the movie.
Again, but like...
We're not going to say that, because if you've seen it, you know how it ends.
Yeah.
But it's just when you'll be like, oh.
It's just a great ending, it really is. And, well, it's great, but, you know, it's a powerful ending, you know. It's just like that dread, like, oh, imagine being in that situation. And also the beginning of the film, she talks about a dream she has. She's floating in a golden egg or something, and there's some kind of thing where like I'm trapped.
She's trapped in a golden egg, floating in space.
Yeah.
It's all dark.
Yeah. There you go. So, in fact, I think it was based on the original story, like a novel, and it's called The Golden Egg, I think. So that ties in quite nicely. But yeah, and the film looked great. Like the cinematography was really nicely done.
I didn't really notice that.
Yeah,
I usually notice when it's great, so it must be just fine.
Yeah, no, it wasn't like, oh my god, the cinematography is amazing, but it just, you know, just framed well. I don't know, I just liked the way that it was shot, I suppose. So, just some of the angles were really good and served the story well. And yeah, one tiny criticism, I guess, is the scene when...
Except for the music?
Oh yeah, I'm with you on the comedic music bit. That was... Cut that out. It doesn't fit the tone of the rest of the film.
I wish there was a way to edit it.
the scene when Rex, I get Rex and Raymond mixed up, but the scene where Rex, the boyfriend, goes to a cafe, like an open cafe, or like he's outside, it's in a public square, and he's been given a postcard or something from the killer saying, go to this place. So he goes there and he's like saying to his new girlfriend, like, it could be any of these guys around here, you know, I just don't know who it is. And there's Raymond up on the balcony just kind of looking up through the curtain. You'd see that. You kind of, if
he's not looking through the curtain, he's leaning on the
balcony. True, I remembered that wrong. So, yeah. I mean, it's just a bit obvious, you know, and you would be looking around for any sign of someone looking at you, so I think that's a little bit of a stretch there. But, I mean, it's a very small nitpick because the rest of the film is so good.
He sits down a few tables below him as well.
Yeah.
And you would see someone staring at you in your peripheral.
Yeah.
Because he was, like, in his line of view. You notice someone staring at
it's
you,
not like,
especially when you're waiting for it too.
Yeah, if you're waiting to meet someone, you'd notice it. But if you're waiting to see someone who might have killed your girlfriend, you'd be fucking on high alert, you know. Yeah. So maybe
your peripheral would be like spider senses, you know.
So maybe it would have been better if he was, you know, like up on a rooftop somewhere with binoculars. I don't know, just a minor nitpick, I suppose. But otherwise, I thought the film was fantastic and.
Well, that's only a nitpick because of how Rex didn't notice.
Yeah.
But Raymond wanted to be found.
True. But anyway, I think it's one of the best thrillers I've ever seen because it does just that, and I just love the twist of seeing the killer's perspective, which could have gone really badly, but they did it really well. And, so I think we've waffled on for far too long. So that's it.
That was the whole movie except for the very end.
Yeah, we went through the whole movie. You know.
Really put up a spoiler. Like,
yeah, I do that.
Yeah, but like, usually you can watch the movie and still get some surprises, but we did the whole thing.
Yeah. And he wakes up in a coffin at the end and he's been buried alive. Anyone watching at this point has seen the film, and if they haven't, then shame on you for going past the spoiler warning. So, thanks for watching.
But I said earlier I said, if you want to know the ending and you haven't seen it, then go watch it. You're not gonna say it, and then you said it. And
fine. I'll put a double spoiler warning. Don't worry about it. We're done. People can decide for themselves if they want to watch the spoiler stuff. It'll be fine. Thank you for watching. See you on the next one.